So good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. So we are going to present the province of Batanes. Next slide, Daniel. So Batanes is one of the Philippines' most beautiful provinces. So the home of the wind is another name for it. So Batanes is the country's northernmost and smallest province. It consists of 10 major islands, 3 of which are inhabited. So the capital of Batanes is Basco. The Ivatans, often known as the true insulares, live in Batanes. The Ivatan tribe was the first to settle in this region. Next slide. So Batanes is also known for its dried fish, which is the province's primary export. Handicrafts such as native huts and fans are products of export quality. Sugarcane, also known as palek, is commonly sold on the islands. Tourists come to the area because of the strong winds that blow along the coast and the historic sites that can be found throughout the province. Next slide. So the centuries before the Spanish colonization, the ancestors of today Ivatans live in protected settlements called ijangs, which were usually in defensive positions on top of steep hills. The word ijang was derived from the Ivatan word idi or ijan, which means home or hometown. The Ivatan tribes are farmers, fishermen, and boat makers. In 1685, Dominican missionaries arrived and attempted to Christianize the Ivatans, but the efforts were abandoned with the death of 2 resident missionaries. In 1718, missionaries made another attempt to bring the people of Batanes under the cross. So missions directed from the island of Calayan in the Babuyan group of islands were sent to Batanes to urge the residents to resettle the Babuyan. In 1782, Philippine Governor General Jose Vasco Vargas explored the area in search of tobacco growing regions and later sent an expedition to undertake the formalities of getting the consent of the Ivatans to become subjects of the King of Spain. On June 26, 1783, Joseph Huelva Melgarejo became the first governor of Batanes. The new province was named Provincia de la Concepcion. Governor Basco was named Conde de la Conquista de Batanes, and the capital town was named after him. Edward.
Okay, rinig ba ako? Basco Lighthouse.
Rinig ka.
Sige, Basco Lighthouse is a lighthouse in the town of Basco in Batanes, the northern province in the Philippines. Basco Lighthouse is one of the 3 lighthouse in the Batanes that former Congressman Florencio Abad proposed. This is not a working lighthouse only. It is for tourist attraction also. The other 2 lighthouse is IR, Sabtang and Mahataw. Yon lighthouse yung dalawa. Yung itong sa Batanes, itong Basco Lighthouse is natayo ito nung 2003. Yan, meron siyang tower height na 20 meters or 66 feet. Then, ang shape ng tower na to is tapered cylindrical tower. Yan, with balcony and lantern. Pa-next din yan. Yan. Valugan Boulder Beach is just a short bike ride away from Basco in Batanes. Balugan Boulder Beach is a masterpiece created by the elements. In 400 CD, 400 AD, Mount Iraya erupted and scattered andesite rocks around the northern half of Batan. Ito which is ito yon ito yung na-form niya na form na formation sa tabi ng beach. This beach is also a famous tourist attraction in Basco because of this rocks formation like pebble. Yan. Then the eruption of the Mount Irayat. Yan. Result Boulder Beach that attracts many people in that island. Yung balugan siya, yung balugan means is sa Ivatan language. Tapos pa-next nga ako, Daniel. Ayan. Mount Carmel Chapel, also known as Tocon Church, was first established on May 3, 2008 at Sitio Tocon, Barangay Canarian, Batanes. Yung Mount Carmel Chapel, also known as Tocon Church, was established on May 3, 2008. It is designed of a traditional lighthouse, of a traditional Ivatan house made from stone walls. Making this body such as, ayan, nakita niyo naman yung stone. Then, yung loob nito, the inside of this chapel is, they have a masterpiece of, yung ceiling nila, meron silang covered with painting of the patron saints of their 6 municipalities, unfortunately. Then, backwards 2016, this chapel hit by typhoon, na sira to, then they rebuilt it. Then the language of the villager there is ang ginagamit nilang language is Ivatan language, in spite of the obvious difference from all other Filipino languages. It is district Austronesian language, different from the Northern Luzon language. Yung mga example dito ng word nila is yung ngayon mo means ang ibig sabihin nun sa kanila is saan ka pupunta. Ayan. Yung mga villager na nakatira dito is ang tawag sa kanila is Batan and Sabtang. Yan yung mga villager dyan. Pa-next, Daniel. Yan, ayun na yung next. Ay, Ian.
Back mo Daniel. So dito tayo sa trivia. So yung House of the Kai is one of the only 5 structures that survived 1918 earthquake in Batanes. So yung House of the Kai is built in 1887. The 133 years old House of the Kai is considered to be the oldest traditional Ivatan stone house in Batanes. So the traditional Ivatan stone houses made of stone and lime with cogon roofs could withstand the strongest typhoon. Yung Vakol and Kanai are not made purposely for fashion. So, made from shredded leaves of boyaboy or Philippine date palm. So, Vakol Batanes is a headgear worn by women while Kanai are best worn by men. So, locals use this to protect themselves from the sun and rain, especially when they are farming. So while modernity is noticeable in the province, some Ivatans still use these gears to preserve the culture and tradition. Blowing your horns in Batanes is encouraged. So while blowing horns in other places is not allowed unless it's an emergency. In Batanes, it's even encouraged to avoid accidents because there are many curved roads. Hence, blow your horn signs are normal lights in Batanes. So the language is also called Ivatan. It is a distinct Austronesian language different from the Northern Luzon languages. It has two dialects, namely Ivatan spoken in the islands of Batan and Sabtang at Itbayat is spoken in the islands of Itbayat. So English and Tagalog are widely spoken and understood by the Ivatan. So the Ivatan language, in spite of its obvious difference from all other Filipino languages, reveals on a closer analysis an identity of a structure in the composition of particles in the root. So yun lang po ang aming report about presentation about Batanes. Thank you and mabuhay.